On this episode of Terrier Nation, we'll discuss the women's soccer season so far. Jessica Lamb will break down the field hockey team's run for the Patriot League title, and we'll give you a preview of upcoming Charles Regatta.
In addition, we'll give you an update on women's ice hockey, and Belle Frazier will update us on men's ice hockey. Mason Jablonski will bring us the newest on tennis, and we'll give you a look ahead at men's and women's basketball seasons.
All this and more tonight on Terrier Nation.
Good evening, and welcome back to Terrier Nation. I'm your host, Kyle Finn.
And I'm Brooke Alessi. BU's fall sports are well underway, and I can't wait to see the soccer teams in the playoffs and bring home the Patriot League title.
This past Saturday, women's soccer had a huge match against the Bucknell Bison. Not only was it a match between the 1 and 2 seeds in the Patriot League Conference, but it was also senior day for the 10 players. A win for BU would increase their chances of clinching the number 1 seed for the playoffs. A win for Bucknell would leapfrog them over BU to take full possession of first place. The only scoring of the day started with Bucknell's Teresa Dita scoring off of a deflection by the BU defender 5 minutes into the match. It was her second goal of the season. Bucknell's goalkeeper Jenna Hall notched a shutout with 3 saves, while BU goalkeepers Cecil LeBron and Gretchen Bennett each recorded 1 save. BU has 2 games remaining in the season, an away game against Loyola Maryland and the final regular season game at home versus Army on October 26th. All games are must-win for BU to clinch the number 1 seed.
I'm sure there will be no shortage of action there, but let's throw it over to Mason Jablonski to see how the BU tennis teams are doing this season.
Thanks, Brooke. The Boston University men's and women's tennis teams are serving up key victories to kick off their fall slate of matches. The men launched their season at the ITA Northeast Regionals in West Point, New York, which began on October 7th. 3 Terriers competed in the tournament, including junior Jonah Dixon, sophomore Adrian Pulowski, and freshman Corey Craig. The following weekend, our men's tennis team played in the Brown Invitational in Providence, Rhode Island. Against Brown, the Terriers won 4 out of their 5 singles matches, and they went 4-2 against Quinnipiac. In their doubles matches, the Terriers were 2-1 against both Brown and Quinnipiac. 3 more tournaments will round out the men's October slate, including the Dartmouth Invite, the BU Bentley Invitational, and the Crimson Halloween Invite. In addition, the Boston University women's tennis team opened its fall schedule at the Harvard Classic starting on September 16th. The women racked up a total of 15 wins in singles matches and 9 wins in doubles matches. A week later, the Terriers played at the Bulldog Invitational, where they picked up wins against Big Ten opponents from Rutgers. The Terriers were also represented by 2 doubles teams in the Hall of Fame doubles tournament, featuring the senior pair Steph Nguyen and freshman Emily Zhao, as well as the sophomore duo of Nina Gulbranson and Sydney Sharma. Finally, the Terriers also suited up for the ITA Northeast Regionals at the end of September, where graduate student Shelley Gallows and junior Victoria Carlston swept their 3 singles matches, advancing them to the ITA Super Regionals later in October. Coming off a 14-8 record last season, including going 5-0 in conference play, the BU women's tennis team will continue to put on a show, with the Brown Classic and Harvard Invitational filling out their fall schedule. Back to you, Brooke.
Thanks, Mason. The basketball season is right around the corner, and both Terrier teams have their sights on advancing deeper than last year's run at the Patriot League title. Tip-off is November 7th against rival school Northeastern University at the Roof. The Lady Terriers returned all 5 starters, including Patriot League preseason all-conference award winners Sydney Johnson and Marin Durant. Newcomer Takara Ross joins the staff as an assistant coach. The men's side, which won 20 games last year for the second time in 3 years, features senior guard Walter Wyatt, who has been recognized as preseason all-conference. Coach Jones returns for his 12th season seeking the Patriot title.
It sure sounds like we can expect an exciting season for the Terriers. As basketball season is about to start, the BU field hockey team seems to be moving onto the playoffs this season. Jessica Lamb has more.
Thanks, Kyle. The BU women's field hockey team is currently 4-1 in conference with a confirmed spot in the Patriot League Championship. Throughout the season, they have won all but 1 home game in addition to their 2 away wins against St. Louis University and American University. With great offense this semester, the Terriers have accumulated 199 shots this season, averaging 13.3 shots per game as opposed to our opponents with 11.7 shots per game. Junior Tess Shaka is leading the team with 19 points, and senior goalkeeper Caroline Kelly has made a total of 71 saves this season. After defeating UMaine 5-2 in the final home game of the regular season, the Terriers will be going up against Boston College and Bucknell next. We look forward to watching them end their season strong. Back to you, Kyle.
Thanks, Jessica. Back at Walter Brown, the women's ice hockey team played New Hampshire back-to-back, and I'm excited for their next game against BC.
You're right, Kyle. Despite being outshot 26-24 and dropping the majority of faceoff battles, our women's ice hockey team still managed to leave Durham with a 2-0 shutout on October 15th. Number 23, Tamara Giaquinto, opened the scoring early by netting her first collegiate goal, putting the Terriers up 1-0. Congrats, Tamara. Later in the third, we saw a goal from number 22, Christina Vogt. Andrea Branley made 26 and recorded her 16th career shutout, making her the first BU goalie since 2010 to complete back-to-back shutouts. On October 16th, the Lady Terriers fell to the UNH Wildcats at home in overtime with a score of 3-2. Number 13, Andy Calderon, scored her first career goal, tying things up 1-1 in the second period. Number 16, Julian Nearest, tied up the game as well to make the score 2-2 and force overtime. 3 minutes and 14 seconds into overtime, the Wildcats found the back of the net, ending the game 3-2. The Lady Terriers go on to play the Boston College Eagles on October 21st and 22nd. Let's send it over to Belle Fraser and see how the men's ice hockey team is doing.
Thanks, Brooke. The Boston University men's hockey team headed to Ann Arbor last weekend in a top 10 matchup to face the University of Michigan Wolverines. Going into the series, BU was ranked number 9 and Michigan was ranked number 6 in the country. The Terriers got off to a rough start on Friday, losing the opening game 9-2. Junior forward Luke Tuck and senior forward Jay O'Brien took 5-minute major penalties within 56 seconds of each other in the first period, causing over 4 minutes of 5-on-3 play for Michigan. The Wolverines took advantage and scored 3 times during the power play. BU never found their way back into the game, setting them up for a big comeback performance in Sunday's competition, where they won 3-2. Junior goaltender Vinny Duplessis was between the pipes, coming in for Drew Comesso, who suffered a hamstring problem in Friday's contest. He stood tall and made 31 saves. The Terriers proved they could skate 5-on-5 with the top-ranked squad and found success through the depth and mental toughness of their team. Junior defenseman Cade Weber earned his first collegiate goal, and his squad played a shutdown third period after gaining the 3-2 advantage in the middle frame. Head coach Jay Pandolfo said the performance was a big character win, giving BU some confidence as they enter their first Hockey East series of the season against UConn. Back to you, Brooke.
We wish the BU ice hockey teams the best of luck as they progress in their seasons.
BU men's and women's rowing teams will be competing in the annual Head of the Charles Regatta. Events started this Friday morning and will be continuing until the late Sunday afternoon. The next competition after this weekend will be on Saturday, November 12th, as the rowing teams will compete in the Foot of the Charles. We wish all of our Terrier athletes the best of luck in competition.
That's all we have for you tonight on Terrier Nation. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter for the latest and greatest Terrier sports updates. I'm Brooke Alessi.
And I'm Kyle Finn. For all of us here at Terrier Nation, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.